We're going on to our next speaker, Oluwatobiloba Dawudo. I can't find you. Can you put on your camera? I can't find you. Oluwatobiloba, I think I saw her just now. Yes, I found her. Can you come on camera, please? Oh, she moved again. Yes, okay. Okay, let me pin you. Let me add the pin. Fantastic. Our social media guru. Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Florence. So I'm going to read, welcome, Oluwatobiloba. What should we call you? The full name? Or do you take a short name?
Toby.
Okay.
For short.
Okay, fantastic. Let me read Toby's bio. So Toby Dawudo is the founder and creative director of O2 Agency, a digital marketing agency that serves clients locally and internationally. She's also the founder of She Thrives Mentoring Network. At She Thrives Mentoring Network is dedicated to empowering and nurturing the holistic growth of girls, fostering spiritual, mental, and financial well-being. Our mission is to cultivate a supportive community where young women are inspired to thrive in all aspects of their lives, guided by mentorship that encourages powerful living and financial independence. She's passionate about seeing women thrive and become all God has called them to be. So over to you, Toby. Hit us.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's 12 noon Nigerian time. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mommy Lamide, for the opportunity to be here today to speak. I don't take it for granted. And then to all the other speakers that have, spoken before me, you guys have been awesome. I've learned a lot from everyone. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. So a little background story of myself. My name is Toby. I am a mom of 4 beautiful children. I founder of O2 Agency, creative director, and also founder of She Thrives Mentoring Network. And for me, I think that this topic is, something that is really dear to my heart. Speaking about work, speaking about empowerment, right? Financial empowerment, and then, becoming somebody of value. Right? So happy and thankful to be here. So I'm going to be sharing life story and then also talking about the topic I've been given to speak today, which is personal branding. And because I feel like I cannot talk about what I do for work without talking about myself, my story, because it's everything just comes together to make sense, right? So how did I get started in the digital marketing space? So I started, and that came about because I was in a bad marriage, a toxic marriage, and actually independent. So financially dependent, rather. I didn't have money of my own. I didn't nothing, right? Because obviously, yeah. So it got to a point where I just started to look for purpose, right? I cannot just. I said in my life that I started to think that God has something much more than just being in this marriage, be depressed, so I started having that thing, that inner thing, and I was going online a lot, and then I came across this non-profit organization who caters to widows, on a monthly basis, right, in the heart of Lagos. And I reached out, right? I reached out, even though I'd known the woman from a long time in church, known her daughter, but I reached out to her and said, I'd like to be part of what you're doing, and even though I can't give money, I I'm sure that I'm able to support and assist in some capacity. And she was open, and she said, okay, so this is what we do. And then I went, and mind you, at this point, this is somebody who I was at my lowest, right? Lowest point in life. And I met with this woman, and I would go, and what I saw was that she was doing this. Imagine somebody catering to hundreds of widows and doing this from her own pockets, And she was complaining. She also needed so a few of her friends, she would support. And then I said, you know what, mommy, I think that this thing that you're doing, because when I then go back home and tell people that there's this organization, I'm like, in this Lagos, in this Nigeria, there's somebody that is doing that. Really, wow. Nobody even know that these things were happening, and people were in need. So I thought that, this this thing needs to go out there. So I suggested using social media, even though I wasn't an expert at the time. I just said, mommy, if we put this on social media, I'm sure we'll gain a lot of attention, and people want to be part of this instead of using your money every time. And that's how I started. So I would go gather pictures, give direction to the photographer. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. And I was doing that, and I was enjoying it. I was finding purpose. I was happy to be part of something, that's helping and transforming lives. And I would do that and put on social media. And before you know it, a lot of people say get a lot of help. A lot of people say, oh, we want to give, we want to support, we want to do this, we want to do that. And the woman was just really thankful, and that's how my career started. So I was managing social media for that non-profit, and that helped me to I learned on the job. I was reading online articles, talking about being proactive, right? If we want to be great, if we want to be someone of value, you have to be proactive, right? Started from me reaching out first, and then look for ways that I could add value. So that's how I started. And from her, you know, it was one client. My next client came from Finland to America, from America to Europe, from Europe to Asia. And it just my career just took a drastic turn from there. Um yeah, that's me, and that's my story and my journey. So I've been asked to speak on personal branding and how to position yourself online, and brand yourself. um Adora talked about getting jobs, how to get jobs from popular sites. That's a great one. Ibiyemi also talked about how to, sell digital products, and Moyo also talked about, yeah. So how do we now position ourselves, right? Because I tell you for free, that this industry that we're in, online marketing, is highly, highly competitive. How do you stand out? How do you position yourself? How do people trust you? Because again, it is entirely online, right? People have to trust you. So how do you position yourself to help you stand out from the crowd? So first thing is to define your brand, right? Define your brand. What do you want to be known for? What is it that you are great at? What is that thing that comes naturally to you? What is that area that you have had the most success in, right? What is that skill, that talent that sets you apart? So defining your brand, what makes you unique, right? Your interests, your values, your personality. You want to have a clear understanding of that first and foremost, so that you are not, you lost in the noise, right? It's sometimes it's intimidating when you see a lot of people, especially on LinkedIn, right? A lot of people at JP Morgan Chase, this and that, McKinsey and Co. It can be intimidating, right? But you are just starting out. You want to be um yeah, defining your brand, basically. That brings me to the next topic, and that is being authentic. You want to be authentic. I am someone who, again, in my industry, with all of the clientele and all of the people that I've worked with over the years, I still think that I'm very different, compared to other people in my niches, digital marketers, social media marketers, that are doing what I'm doing. I think that I'm very different, and that's because I have decided that I'm going to. Somebody can be dancing on social media. Some who you are, you don't necessarily have to jump into that because that's what people are doing. I want to show myself. I want to this. I want to that. I want to. You have to be authentic. And what I found out about being authentic, even as someone who is a faith-based entrepreneur, a Christian, is that I find that a lot of us sometimes are afraid of being true to who we are because there's this, in quote, what's the word now, way, people in your niche are supposed to present themselves, right? If you go through my social media, if you go through me, my account, sometimes it's almost hard. And I'm not saying this is how you should be. It's almost hard to tell what I do. It's almost hard you to even know that this is what I do, or the kind of people that I've had the privilege and opportunity to work with. That's because I am decided to stay true to who I am. And the most shocking thing I found out is that even while staying true to who I am, I have also been very successful at it. Right? I've been so successful by the grace of God that I have for my network. I've trained hundreds of social media managers that have also gone on to have their own careers and to have their own businesses. And a lot of people have found me out. I've gotten a lot of referrals. So for me, I get a lot of my clients to referrals. I've worked with somebody before, somebody is needing somebody, and then they, oh, meet Toby, she's excellent, she's great. And that is what has worked for me. That is what has worked for me because in as much a lot of people think that, oh, Toby is bold, courageous. I'm also a very shy person, right? I don't, yeah, people have to on this session I've heard put yourself out there, brand yourself, all of that, which is great if you're talking personal branding. But for me, what I found works for me is staying true to who I am. And a lot of my that even we are even unable to keep up at the agency because we have a lot of people that are on retainer, people that we are working with. So it's just almost difficult to even keep up. So being authentic and staying true to who you are, don't be afraid to show your weirdness, your whatever it is that sets you apart from the crowd. You have to stay true to who you are. Get rid of the notion of, oh, I'm a professional, this is how I should be, or this is what I see other people um in my industry doing, so I have to also copy that and be that. No, you have to be authentic. um Consistent profile presence, right? We've talked about, I'm sure a lot of people have mentioned consistency in this meeting today. A lot of people have talked about consistency. Consistency is key. Without being consistent, you're just going to get lost, right? You want to be consistent in your postings. You want to be consistent. Yeah, exactly. Where the orange suit was in black. Exactly. I cannot emphasize the need of being authentic, right? Something that just dropped my mind is look at Tony Elumelu, for instance. If you go to his Instagram, it's showing his fun. This is a CEO. This is somebody who is supposed to be serious in quotes, right? But he plays, he dances, he shows off his fitness. It takes us behind the scene of his who you are, right? The world is going to try to put us in a box, but be authentic. If you are loud, if you are bold, if you are passionate, if you have a weird hairstyle, your views are different. Don't be afraid to air that, because guess what? That is what is going to draw your own people to you. That's what's going to draw your own unique set of clients to you. Because again, you don't want to work with everybody if you are targeting no one, right? Extremely key. So yeah, I was talking about consistent. Canva, you can pay a graphic designer to put it together for you. Your logo, your fonts, your color codes, right? You might say, "Oh, my brand color is blue." A lot of people don't know there are a million shades of blue. There are hundreds and 100 million shades of purple, right? You have to have your X codes and let that color be consistent across your platforms and your social media account, right? In your messaging, the tone, your brand voice, let it be consistent. When people are seeing you on LinkedIn, in as much as the platforms are different, LinkedIn is more professional. You can't really maybe some, I don't know, me, I'm a rebel, by the way. But yeah, but sometimes there's some content that I fit for Instagram that might not work on LinkedIn, and I get all of that. But uh, in all of that, you want to maintain a consistent brand tone, brand voice, and then the your brand identity. So that's that about being consistent. Also, you want to have what we call content pillars, right? Content pillars are pillars are pillars or things that will guide you in your message, right? If you're somebody who is a social media manager, for instance, right? What are the things? So social media management is big, digital marketing is broad. What are the key topics in this industries or in these niches that you want to talk about, or do you want to talk about for example, there's this new I won't say it's new anyway, but there's a name to it now. It's called faceless marketing, for people that are shy, they don't want to put themselves out there, they don't want to show their and it's doing well, right? It's doing extremely well. Faceless marketing, is that what you want to talk about? I There's an organization that I work with. They talk about SDG 5, gender equality, women economic empowerment, leadership, and what else do they talk about now? That I can Yeah, so those are the three things that I can remember right now. And all through the messaging, all through the content that we are publishing on their platforms, that is what we are talking about, and that is what the audience for that brand have known them for. So if you are looking for top voices in the niche of gender equality, or that's just something that you are into, right? That platform is a go-to platform to get inspiration, get resources, get knowledge, and all of that on that niche. So what I'm saying is, you want to be very clear on your messaging so that you're not confusing your audience, by having content pillars, and that guides you in whatever it is that you are putting out there. So that is that on content pillars. Also, you talk about content strategy, right? Do you want to do articles, or are you more of a video person, or you are somebody who is a writer, you just do long form of writing, or you're more of the creative person, you want to be creative with photos? So your strategy and how, or you have a podcast, right? And you want to have social media accounts for your podcast. Whatever it is that you're doing, you want to have a strategy on these platforms. How do you want to be posting? How often do you want to be posting? How you want to also be perceived by people. Do you want to be perceived as, again, being authentic, someone who is serious, somebody who is jovial, somebody who is whatever it is, however it is you want to be perceived, that will come in your strategy. You want to have a detailed strategy in your overall content. Then engagement, right? You want to engage with um like-minded people in your organization, right? So when you're out on LinkedIn, you're out on Instagram, you're on Twitter, so you don't just post and ghost. You don't just put your content out there and then that's it, right? You want to engage, because engagement is even how you are discovered and seen. Because in your industry, there are other people that that are up there that you are looking, that maybe you aspire to be like them, or their content inspires you, or they're all already experts in that field, right? So you want to engage with those accounts. You want to engage with people, because that's basically how you will be discovered. You don't just dump your post and then you leave, right? Who are the top people? Who are the people that are doing great? People that you want to be like, that are already successful at what you do in your industry. You want to engage with those accounts. Because if you don't engage, you won't be seen. Leaving thoughtful comments under people's posts, sharing articles that you resonate with, liking people's comments, following people that you like. Engagement is very, 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 very important. Networking, again, cannot be overemphasized. You want to network, attend conferences, even online. Don't be afraid to talk to people about, you know, who you are, what you do. If you're open to opportunities. I cannot stress the importance of networking. You want to network with people, you want to get to, even online, it doesn't have to be in person, right? Network, join communities, join groups, talk to people. You that cannot be overemphasized, because if nobody knows who you are or what you do, how do you monetize? How do you grow? How do you become successful? So networking is key. And what I found out with my high profile clients or clients that I work with is they take networking so seriously. They take networking so seriously. They're attending conferences, they are adding value, they are nurturing relationships. Even when they network and then they form relationships, they are nurturing these relationships. They are people, they're not just taking, they're also giving in terms of value. There has to be a value exchange. So that is also what is very, very important. Um, when it comes to personal branding. I've talked about authenticity, be authentic, share in be genuine in your interactions, personal stories, experiences. Don't be afraid that, I don't want to share it. You never know that that story that you're sharing is what will resonate with somebody, and then they are working with you because of that story that you have shared, right? Your dog, is sick, or you had an emergency, you struggle with imposter syndrome, because at the end of the day, we are all human. Everybody has one thing or the other, but in whatever it is that you're sharing, you want to make sure that you are okay sharing it. So don't say in the name of being authentic, you want to go and put, a super personal story out there that, you're not ready to share or to put out yet, and then you now cringe by the time you share it, right? Be authentic, but whatever you're sharing, still make sure that you are at a place, mentally, that you're okay to let that out into the world on the internet. Talked about consistency, monitoring and adjusting, right? So you want to track your social media analytics to track your progress, and adjust your strategy. That's also very, very important, right? If you're looking to grow, you want to monitor and measure whatever it is that you're doing, right? This week, this post that I created generated more engagement than usual. Why is that? Is this what my audience wants me to talk more about? From your analytics, you can see where your audience, where you get the most of engagement from your audience. Oh, it's like, people in the UK, are interacting more to my content. Or maybe there's something there for me I want to explore. Okay, at so times my post performs better. Does that mean that okay, maybe at 6 p.m. is when I should be pushing out content for maximum engagement? All of these things are things that you need to track. Oh, okay, my audience, I have more women than men that are interacting. Okay, should I make my stories more women related, and from that approach, like make my content more women? All of these things are things that you want to be on top of when it comes to personal branding yourself on personal on social media, and just standing out from the crowd. So for me, yeah, so personal branding is a lifelong journey. you know like I said, there are clients now that we're working with on the channel for years, and there are still our strengths come. The online industry is an ever growing, ever evolving landscape. As trends come, we evolve, we reevaluate our strategy. We see, oh, this is what is working, what was working is no longer working. We have to adapt, we have to change. So it's a lifelong journey, but be willing to learn from your mistakes, or from just be willing to evolve. That is just basically it. Be willing to evolve, be willing to learn, be a lifelong learner, be willing to grow, and then it gets better once you're consistent, you're authentic, um you're ready to you have something of value to share to the world, right? You're constantly networking. It's just only a matter of time before you grow. Like I like to tell people, the compound effect takes over. You cannot be doing something consistently and you're doing it right, and you don't grow from it, right? You definitely grow. um so that's that on my I don't know if do I still have time, because I know I was given, was it 20, 30 minutes?
Hello?
Yeah.
You're supposed to, yeah, you're, it's fine. It's fine because, sorry, just give me, let me come back. I just wanted to ask one question. So,
Mm.
um, very well done. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. You know, um, I am guilty of consistency because that's why I need a social media manager. But my challenge is that they don't write as well as I do. Okay. So I'm never happy with what it is they want to post on my behalf. So I have to find a mid level where maybe I can get someone who will help me with the consistency, but who will accept what I want to say, you know? Or what do you think?
Yes, ma'am. So with that, I get that from people that are, you obviously attained a level in your career, and whatever you put out there, you want to be very, very, yeah, super particular. Um, for me, what I do with my clients is that and I think most social media managers do this. You give them a list of, like I said, content pillars that I mentioned earlier, topics that you want to be known for, topics that you want to write about, and topics you want to talk about. And for instance, gender equality. And then you say, okay, let me have a content calendar for the month, or what these are my content pillars, these are my focus. Let me
Mhm,
have a content calendar for the month ahead
mhm.
on what you will be doing and posting on my social media. And then you have that, they send that to you. You obviously, with whatever they are written, I'm sure you want to add one or two things, or kind of just rewrite or just correct whatever it is that they've given to you. So that's what I believe, or that's what I do with my
Yeah,
clients.
yeah,
They've given us their topic, they've given us their focus. We'll write and create content based on their focus. We send to them, say, oh, okay, this line. Okay, I think we should do this
yeah.
and this and this and this. And they approve the content after changes and reviews have been made. and then we go ahead and publish on their behalf. So that's one thing I think that you can do. Have
I
the
mean,
whoever that's
I
managing
guess,
the account.
yeah, I guess what it is that I'm just going to have to do it because for me,
Yeah,
life is dynamic. What we agreed beginning of the month, all kinds of things come up. If you are still posting my blue shoes, meanwhile, the world is now doing something else in that week. Do you understand? But I guess it'll take working with someone and getting to understand each other, you
yeah,
know, so that because sometimes I just find that the manager is going that way and I want to go this way, and I don't want someone who's going to restrain me from going this way, you know.
no,
So anyway, we're going to talk after. We'll see what it is
yeah.
we can do. Are there any questions? This was a great, and I just loved your testimony. And I think it's also a powerful ribs-like testimony. And why do I say this? Marriage is important. Marriage is something we all want to do. But if it doesn't work out, we don't, first of all, if we don't yet find somebody, we don't park there and be depressed because of that.
Find ourselves.
You know, you go ahead and you do what you need to do. Somebody asked me once that, oh, should she buy a car? They told her that if she buys the car, she won't find a husband. 10 years later, she hasn't found husband. Will she be jumping Molue all that time? Do you
Right.
understand? Yeah, and okay, it was a bad marriage, and I hope that you are still going to try marriage again. Don't think that because that one was bad, we're not doing it again. You should look into it. But you didn't park there. You got up and you went and did something else. There are people right now who just are sitting. They're just sitting, and that is why we're having this conference. We can't all just be sitting and crying
Right.
and feeling bad
Right.
and saying that, oh, I was saying to my daughter that, you know what, there was a time when I wasn't working. I would go to Dosumu. I'm talking 30 years ago. I would go to Dosumu, buy costume jewelry, right?
Hmm.
And go to my friends who worked in the bank and sell it, doubling the price in between. There's
Right.
always something to do. There is always something to do. Now, it may not make so much sense to do that, even though you can still do it. Now you do it, you don't even have to buy the inventory. You just go there, take pictures. When somebody says they want, you call the man in the Jumota and say, please send to this person.
Exactly.
But I'm just saying that even as the world has changed, there's still things we can do. You know, you say that you are an introvert and all of that, but I really want to celebrate you that you did not stay down because you could have stayed down. And it's not as if you knew the field you went into. So Ibiyemi was saying, what are you good at and all of that. But from what you have said, it doesn't even have to be what you're good at. It can just be something
Right.
you just entered, whether by accident, whether deliberately. But then you said you went and
Exactly.
studied. You didn't just sit there, you know?
Right. Learned on the job and yeah, take courses and all of that to grow and just constantly evolve. Another thing I'd like to mention is there's someone so this lady followed me on Instagram. I don't know how she found me. She's an American. She lives in America, yeah, in New York, and she followed me on Instagram. And I see that a lot of times she will interact with my post, and and then I went to her page. I saw that she was a really very busy individual who would probably need my services. And then I reached out to her. Hey, hello. I saw that you followed me. Thank you. I see that you do this and that. I am into this and that. If you ever need somebody who, and mommy, you will not believe that this lady she has been so instrumental to my growth and success that she has gone on to introduce me to this person and that person and that person, and it has just been crazy from that. And then when I work with somebody or friends, those will also go on to refer me and refer me and refer me without even me necessarily having to put what I do out there. So all of the times that I've grown, all of the times that I've been successful, it has been me, the intentionality, taking time to reach out, not waiting for people to come to me. Ladies, if you're on this call, please, like I say, I'm somebody who is can be shy, but there's certain times where you have to, be bold and reach out. It's all this thing is all about reaching out. Nobody is going to come and even if they have the opportunities, they will just pass you by if you're not talking. You have to speak out and tell people what it is that you do, whether through your social media, whether through reaching out in people's inboxes, one-on-one, one-on-one connection. Please and please and please and please reach out. Reach out. You can never know. Like Moyo said, what's the worst that can happen? They'll say no. And then you move on from there.
So Moyo, do you know what happened when I said we're having this program? Okay, Moyo messaged me or she called me. I think I can say something. And say, hey, you are sure? She said,
right, exactly,
even though after some time she's like, I don't know if I am. Like, what? You're saying something. Jaja, I sat minding my own business when you reached out to me. A lot of people heard that, oh, we're having a program, and nobody said anything. Now, you said to us that you were very busy. When I said, oh, do people have businesses? Do you need help with your business? You reached out to me, but you're already very successful. You didn't say, oh, I'm successful, or I'm not going to do anything. But look at it now.
Right.
We've put you here. We're going to put this, it's going to, when the editor is doing all of that, they'll put your social media handles and everything. Who knows where these videos are going to go?
Mommy, what a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand is, so one of my clients, she's high profile, and then they attend this World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland every year. And of course I manage their social media and I see the messages are coming, the emails are coming. I'm talking ambassadors, right? I'm talking top profile people sending their profile to us that, hey, I want to be a speaker at your event. I hear that you're having an event. And these are already accomplished people. I'm talking diplomats, strategically finding opportunities online and then putting themselves out and not waiting for people to come to them, because
so who are we?
Is a great platform. Exactly. Our DMs flooding with requests that they want to speak at our events.
Ibiyemi has a question. Oh yeah, Ibiyemi, quickly.
Yes, sorry, please. We're looking for your LinkedIn.
We can't find it.
So it's me and Balaji. We were looking for your LinkedIn because as you were speaking, I was like, she can really help me with my social media and like just my branding strategy and stuff. Please, how do we find you?
Yeah, so my profile under Oluwatobiloba Dawudo on LinkedIn. On Instagram is just Tobi Dawudo.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Please write your contacts. Everybody who's spoken, please write your contacts. Even if you haven't spoken, write your contact details in the chat, I beg. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
And you need to speak to me because you can help me. I hope you can help me. You look like you will have my patience because a few other people they're like, oh, this is we can't deal with her. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma. Thanks for having me.